What is the origin of the Anunnaki? Are they naturally evolved species? Listen, yes, they're naturally evolved. And then when you say Anunnaki, that is not the title of a being. That is the response to a question. And the response to the question was asked by the Sumerians, who were the first beings to record the presence of these beings. Because what does Anunnaki mean? Right? Those Anu sent to Ki on crafts in groups of 50. That's the response. When they seen the beings coming down in their crafts, they said, who sent you here? And they said, Anu sent us here to this planet on crafts in groups of 50. Where did he send them from, Dr. Ray? He sent the beings that were beseeching the Sumerians at that time. He sent them from Iduma because Nibiru, which is a mother-sized craft, right? That's at least 24 times the size of the star in the star system of Sirius, of the Canis Major. When it passed through the constellation of Sirius, the gravitational field of Nibiru started to dwarf Sirius B, and it started to strip the electrons out of the particles on that sun. And that sun had a planet that orbited it. And that planet was called Iduma. And the beings that stayed on the Duma, there were 3 species. One was called the Shaggies, that you refer to as Bigfoot or the Yeti. Some of you guys call it Saskatchewan or the Wendigo, right? Many of your furry creatures come from Iduma. They have to pack up the same way they tell you about Utnapishtim. Listen, and you know him as Noah. But according to the Sumerian tablets, which are Akkadian tablets, but they was writing in cuneiform, right, which is a wedge script that was developed by the Akkadians that stayed in Samaria of the Akkadian Empire. And they tell a story about a man named Utnapishtim and how some beings came from out the sky, some extraterrestrials came here and had him build a craft because he was genetically related to these beings. And they said, go and collect the specimens and the DNA of 2 of every animal. Get your family and all your homies and they homies. And y'all get on this craft because we about to flood this sector. And we want you to replenish the earth. Sounds familiar? Well, that's what happened on Iduma when Anu, listen, came into the proximity of Sirius B. The beings on Iduma was starting to lose their life, and that was never his intent. So what he did was he pulled all the beings off of that planet, and one of those groups of beings was the Shaggies. The second one was the Markabians. The Markabians are what you refer to as grays. This is a race of grays that don't have dilated pupils. They got eyes like you, but they just more expanded and larger. They got large heads and little bodies, and many of them don't have a gender. The third group was a group of sea creatures or water beings called water monitors that were called the Nomos. And these 3 classifications of species were put on crafts in groups of 50 and sent to the planet Ki, which is the name that the rich skins named for this planet. You follow? I hope that answered your question, beloved. And when those beings was given a home here, they called it Eridu, right? They called it, that's in the Gilgamesh epics, because Gilgamesh is a byproduct of the people from Iduma, right? The giant. And when they came here, they called this place Eridu. Eridu means home away from home. This is why you got hair. This is why you got fur. Some beings don't got hair. They got fur. You see people with hair all on their back and hair all on their butt. They got hair all on the back of their calves. It's just hairy everywhere. They even got some people that got what they're calling hirsutism. This is where that comes from. And what I knew asked of the beings that he sent the key on crafts in groups of 50 was to look over the beings that he had seated on this planet. He said, be a custodian over these beings. Teach them everything that you know. And also you could mix in with these beings as well. You know, as a term of good, as a gesture of good faith. And they've been on the planet ever since. Mixed in with your genetics. And I told you guys this the other day, but this being, you're new here, that's okay. And when you look at the hair on your head, you got that from the damn Shaggies. When we talk about the Mercabians, what many of you call grays, which there's over, I want to say 70 different species of grays. It ain't just one particular type of gray, right? When you look in the womb of the mother, when you look into the womb of the mother and she is 3 months pregnant, short of 52 days, right? Let's just go ahead and call it 12 weeks in the womb. And you look at the child or the fetus at that stage, it has a very big head and a very small body. It got 2 big eyes, like a gray. It got a slit for a nose, like a gray. It got a slit for a mouth, like the gray. It has a slit for ears, like the gray. Listen, and if you pulled that child out the womb, which some people do when they go to Planned Parenthood, right? It comes out gray. The baby is gray. So this is showing you where the grays were integrated into your genetic template. Same thing with the Nomos. Shouts out to the Dogons and the people of Mali, because that's who they originally mixed in with, was those beings. They stayed in the marshlands of Mali. And they evolved the intelligence of the Dogon tribe. That's why the Dogon are capable of seeing Sirius B without a telescope. You hear me? So these are examples of beings that have been proven to exist, not speculatively. There's more than enough documented evidence on all 3 of those classification of species I just named. You hear me? And those sea creatures show up in your blood, listen, through the seaman. You call it semen or sperm. You come out like a tadpole, which is a water creature. And when you're gestating in your mother's womb, you don't have lungs, you got gills. Your gills don't mutate into lungs until your egg, which all reptiles are born in eggs. You hear me? All reptiles are born in eggs. And when it comes out the womb, you say that your water break, because that's a nice, sexy way not to look at and associate yourself with the animal kingdom, right? When you come out that egg and the oxygen gets into your nose, your lungs or your gills inflate. And now you become a warm-blooded creature. Before then, you were a cold-blooded creature. I hope that answers your question for the being that asks about the Anunnaki. That's just putting it in its appropriate context, right? That's putting it in its appropriate context. But those are the Anunnaki. Those Anu sent the key on crafts in groups of 50. He sent them on crafts in groups of 50 because there was a whole bunch of them motherfuckers. Hell, he destroyed their sun. The same way he destroyed Meldeck, which was a planet in our solar system. And he helped them beings too. Those that he could. He let them take refuge here too. Your planet became a melting pot some time ago. But let's segue back into Kingu and the plutonium bomb that he placed inside Area 51, 51 levels beneath the 51 stories beneath the surface. Because that's what they did not drill that hole. The military did not do that. Kingu did that shit 66 billion years ago. It was pyramids over here. They had Sphinx over here. I'm tying everything in for all you American Indians, right? And I told y'all this yesterday about the mounds. Go to my YouTube page and you will see it. I was telling y'all about the mounds and how a mound is the mold for the pyramids. And at the time when they started putting the molds back up, which the Olmecs initiated that, and they also built pyramids, right? The Teotihuacan pyramids, the pyramids in the Nazca Strip, the pyramids that's in Belize, the pyramids that you've been seeing everywhere. Some of these pyramids, they tried to cover them up and tried to dynamite them. They were so big. Stone Mountain is actually a fucking pyramid. They don't want y'all to know that, man. For my people in Atlanta, right? ATL, shouty. Right? If you go like Wade Green, 75 North going south, or coming from what is that place? I forgot the name of it. But in northern Georgia, as you come down and you descend on Atlanta, you can see Stone Mountain off to the side. It looked like a big ass pyramid. It looked like somebody tried to stop it from looking like a pyramid, which they did. They dynamited the shit out of it. In the Behemoth, the baloney man, he started dynamiting it so much, he started to dynamite the Confederate soldiers into it. They tried to make that as an excuse as to why they was dynamiting. Because they working with these plutonians, Kingu, Luna, which is the name of the moon for the lady that was in here saying that she is the moon and all that shit, but your name is Jenny. Don't play them type of games. The psychosis is crazy. It's diabolical with a lot of y'all. Y'all out of y'all fucking mind and don't even know it. I'm here to bring your ass back to reality. Real reality. Shouts out to my brother Real. I'm here to bring your ass to reality, motherfucker. You got the right one today. You hear me? Your oversoul, your ancestors, your dearly departed, and your damn spirit team, your spirit guides, and your guardian angels. Like, yeah, motherfucker, you need to see this nigga right here. He gonna set the record straight for your ass. You hear me? So once that plutonium bomb was let off, a piece of the earth broke off and became what is known as your moon. And the magma from the heat signature pushed all of the mud, because the water had got evaporated, it pushed it and created your mountain ranges. That's why you got them mountainous areas in Arizona and Nevada and in Colorado. It went that far from off the ocean shores. It obliterated the landmass that was on the other side of California. And that was southwest of Mexico. It was land all over there. It was just one piece of fucking land. I told you guys that before. But I'm bringing a conceptualized, for your imagination, I'm conceptualizing how the planet got how it is. So when the moon broke apart and it began to dry or it began to cool off from all of that heat, it was stuck in the planet's gravitational field. So as the planet still was moving around, right? The planet was still moving around the sun and it was causing the moon to cool off. The Anutu, what you call the Anunnaki, those are two different things. They got with the beings in Sahu and they started to gather all of the water from the water planets in your solar system, mainly Neptune, Uranus, and Meldeck. And they started to transport water from these other planets to your planet. And they also allowed the marine life that was thriving in those waters to come to this planet too, if it wanted to. And these are also your Anunnaki, meaning those Anu sent to key on crafts in groups of 50. You follow that? They received a signal from the Vega star, which is the closest star, which is about 4.7 trillion light years away from your planet. Excuse me, 4.7 trillion miles away from your planet. That's the closest star to you, is the Vega star. Right? In the Vega star, that's where they get the word vegan from. They sent their plant life to this planet to help it balance itself out so that it can heal. And that's why your planet is not a definitive sphere. It's sort of like an oblong shape, right? Because of that plutonium bomb, that Kingu, where they get the word king from, which is another terminology for a ruler, because that's where he wanted to be on your planet when he sat amongst the council of 13. You got a council of 13, which is a fake council. Now they got the Illuminati and say the 13 families of the Illuminati, right? Or is that the Luciferians? I get confused. They are the same damn thing. But there were 13 councils on your planet to represent the 13 chakra points of your planet. And Kingu came here visiting, right? Yeah, there you go. 13 college. They love using that 13. That's where that come from. And you got 13 chakra points in your body. And we're going to go all over this in the seminar in Atlanta, right? Everything get tied together. I told y'all, it's a lot of information. It ain't something that y'all been taught to read, and y'all haven't been taught to absorb information. And that's when I'm going to start showing people at these seminars. This next event, that's what we doing. I'll show y'all. It's going to be March the 7th and the 8th, Atlanta, Georgia, right? Tickets available on the website, 1089techvision.com. Could I get a moderator to put it in the comments section? Yeah, link is in my bio, or you can see it in my bio. Go to the event section of my website and, get your tickets now. Seating is going to be limited. And I got to get this disclaimer. Already got 200 people in my community. It's already 200 people in there. At least 70 of those 200 people have been to at least 4 to 5 events, right? Some of them been to 1, some been to 2, but it's usually the people. Yes, you can bring your child, long as the child isn't a baby kid. Long as they ain't out there trying to run around while we doing the event. If they're well mannered, if they're a teenager or something, children come for free. Children come for free. They get free gear. I give them they get the shirts for free. They get the chest plates for free. They get unks for free. Shouts out to my people that be bringing. Yeah, put the website if it'll allow you. Thank you, Double R. They get everything for free. Mama Dream to bring her granddaughter, she get everything. And because this is for the children. We really want to influence the children to get on a spiritual frequency so that when they grow up, they'll be advanced, evolved, and capable of ruling. And not the way that these fake ass rulers is doing right now. I'm talking about ruling the real way. Because real rulers measure their deeds, their merits, and the example that they put to others. You follow? So they go to the website right there. Thank you, Double R. So when y'all come out to these events, you can bring your children. Just don't bring the Brady Bunch. Right? Don't bring the Brady. Don't come with like, hey, these my kids. I had somebody show up. They had 5 kids with them. And I was like, dang, you got 5 kids? Like, yeah, you said the children could come for free. I said, yeah, they can. I said, but y'all can't. Y'all got to pay to be here. They was like, oh, it costs? Like, nigga, what you think? They just letting me be up in this hotel this way for nothing? Shit costs money, y'all. Shit costs money. And we not having a seminar at my damn house. We having it. We not even having it in the city I live in. So I'm held to standard too, right? I'm held to standard too. I got to drive almost 16 hours to get to the event. So if I got to do that, the least that people can do is hop on a plane, right? And I've been telling people about this event, man, how long? Since last March. And now this one is coming up in March. And I'm still propagating for the one in July. And I'm starting to propagate for the one that we having in November in Dallas, right? And then we plan on going to the United Kingdom. Oh man, they didn't restrict my live. We plan on going to the United Kingdom, to London in 2027. So get your passports ready. And y'all people in London, y'all better start reaching out to me in order to receive me. Because y'all the ones that was squealing and saying, hey, when you coming here? All right, when I pull up on your ass, when I spin the block on your ass, don't be like, I'm coming all the way across the ocean on your ass. But see, I got people over there too. We got people in our community that's over there. And I know that they gonna show up. I'm just talking to the people that's not in the community, right? Don't want to blow these windows of opportunities, because it ain't gonna sit and wait for you to get your shit together. It's not. The same way like in Wahani, when we had the land, Tamaray, Kodesh, Egypt of the West, and people missed that. Like, damn, where's that at? Like, yo, the FBI tore it down. Damn, what was I doing? And you was not in tune with yourself then. And I remember many of people after the land got tore down, they said, man, I never did get a chance to go down there. Like, why you didn't go? Oh, I was busy. You wasn't doing shit but getting drunk and high, chasing tail, chasing niggas, instead of coming and aligning your soul with the cosmos. You missed that. And every time, people like the late, great Kobe Bryant said, the biggest mistakes that humans make in this plane of reality is thinking that they have more time than they actually have. We got to stop doing that, man. So when I see me come over here, some people take it for granted. Like, shit, man, he's saying the same thing. The second you leave up out of here, that shit go to another level. And you done missed it. And then you might catch it in the upload and be like, damn, I was watching that live. How come I didn't hear him say none of that? Because you left, right? But yeah, come join us in Atlanta for that event, because it will be going down. And I'm not kicking people out the room. I just had a big drop off of about 40 people just left out the room. We not kicking y'all out the room. That's the TikTok doing that. TikTok keep removing people from here that they don't want them to know, man. They want y'all to be dormant, dumb, docile. And it's for educational purposes only. I'm not bullying no one, and I'm not saying these things to offend anyone. I'm not. And I got to keep saying that, because they didn't took half the people up out the room. Right? That gives you an idea of how serious the things that I'm saying are. Because like, I just got through talking to the community, and I was telling you guys that their time is up. They done ran out of time. They attempting to figure out a way to to extend their time. Your time is up. We don't need to be policed anymore. That's why they got these ICE agents for immigrants, because you don't need to be policed. Now you're starting to wake up to the fact that you're not black. You're actually white within the corporate matrix of, the corporation that you call a country. A lot of people start that shit is changing the complexities of that matrix. That's why they turning into ice ages and shit, looking for illegal immigrants, which those are commercial terms as well. But so somehow they hypocritically and contradictory forget to look at their violations within the laws that they look to execute towards others. You are the original illegal immigrant. You're the original human trafficker. You follow? You're the original one. You're the original biological terrorist. You are the original terrorist. You are the original terrorist cell. And people are aware of it now. And I told y'all, whether you black, white, Puerto Rican, or Haitian, or Asian, or if your name Five Dog from the Zulu Nation, when everybody can hold hands and sing Kumbaya and say, there go the devil, that's when those celestial beings that outrank you on the evolutionary scale will come in and help your ass. But they got to make sure that we all on the same page and we not separated. Separation is an illusion. Everybody and their mama got their feet on the fucking ground and act like they live somewhere else other than this planet. Y'all better wake up. Any more questions? Got any more questions in the comment section? Put it in the comment section. Shouts out to China Black. Yeah, Dr. Ray in tune with a lot of shit, man. Especially when it comes to our people. Okay, there we go again with how you feel. Don't ask me how I feel about abortion. Ask your question. Ask the question that you want to know, beloved. I don't want to tell you what I feel. I want to tell you what I know. All right, you got to be patient, this soul. You're not the only one in here. Got to be patient, beloved. I told you we would. What you want to know about abortion, World's Finest? Say, are abortions okay? No, they're not. Right? You should not be getting abortions. Y'all got to stop doing that. Stop having sex. Why you having sex if you're going to go ahead and abort the child? Come on, man. You know what it takes in order for a being to be born? You know the teragigawatts of energy that it takes for a being to break through the plane of the spiritual universe? And you think that you got the divine right to remove that being from incarnating? Listen, every time that y'all do that, you're not impacting the world in a way where you could make such a decision. Meaning, that child that been eradicated from the womb, right, may have produced a great grandchild that would have came up with a cure to stop people from aging and dying. And the only thing that you did after that, not you per se, but smoked on a few dicks, right? Went to the mall, went to the Red Lobster or to the Papados, shitted that shit out and went to sleep and binge watched some shit on Netflix. That shit get a karmic strike for that. And then the beings in your bloodline, they not gonna want you to come back through that bloodline no more. Especially after they see what you do after that. So it's not good. And I gotta say that. I can't, that's why I say, hey, what do you want to know? Say it another say it another way. I don't want to tell people how I feel. Because the first thing their ego will say is, he's just saying that because he feel that type of way. But it's my right. I could do. You don't even know who the hell. Not you per se, sis. I'm just talking in general to keep things in context. Because like I told y'all, this gonna get re-uploaded, right? So it's like, oh man, You know, I can do what I want. It's my body, my decision. It sure is. But guess what? So it is your decision of who you let in between your legs too. And if you let people in between your legs, it's making you come to the conclusion like, I don't want to keep this baby. And a lot of y'all are used the excuse of, what if I was R word? That's different. All of y'all ain't being R word. I see people pulling up to the Planned Parenthood with rims on their fucking car. So cut the crap. Stop attempting to make an excuse for undermining your own morality. You got to stop doing that crap. Stop having sex if you're gonna be doing that, or make your sex safer. They got alternatives so that you don't have to be doing that. That shit is weaponized towards you. It's propagated and promoted to you like it's a convenience, and you're inconveniencing the tapestries of creation and existence. And when you're doing that, and you're doing it perpetually, and what a lot of you don't know is that that child is still with you. It's still in your auric field. It's fucking with your consciousness. It's throwing you off. It's making you self-sabotage yourself because you still had children after that. And so it started fucking with you. They mad at your ass. Like, yo, why the fuck you didn't let me fucking go? You done had this little raggedy ass nigga, but I couldn't be there. And don't act like you don't be picking up on that inner dialogue, because I know you do. You hear me? And I'm not saying that to condemn nobody. But I got to put this shit out there, man. People need to know that. Y'all need to know it. What the fuck you fucking for? I was telling the young brothers the other day, like, yo, man, stop having sex. You're not responsible enough to be having sex. You still stay with your mama. You should not be laying up with no woman. Not in case you paying all your mama bills. You hear me? You ain't paying your mama bills. You shouldn't be fucking in a house. Right? You shouldn't be fucking in your mama's house. Go get your own domicile. Get you a roommate or something. Save up you some money for a car and develop your own business. Don't just go get a job. Develop your own business. And then start having sex responsibly. That way, if you do slip up and get somebody pregnant, you don't have to just run to the damn, I call it the soul snatcher. Some people call it the body shop. You don't have to go do all of that. You're like, come on, baby, I'm about to hold us down. That's gonna give you the motivation and drive to accomplish shit when you start having children. With new life comes new prosperity. Thank you, Divine Empress. Right? And y'all gotta realize this. Somebody gotta say it. And I'll be the one to say it. Shouts out to my sister Kelly Kale. The Kelly Kale Show. Somebody gotta say it. And God damn it, I just be the nigga to say it. You hear me? And for you young sisters, stop opening up your fucking legs for these niggas that don't got nowhere to live. You better find you a nigga. You like, I want a man. Don't act like y'all not operating off of hypergamy. You need to find you an older gentleman, right? I ain't saying some old ass nigga like y'all be having sex with to pay your rent. Talk about somebody that's attractive and is still active. Somebody in their late 30s and early 40s that has some experience in life that could take you further than you could take yourself. Right? That wants to have a family, that doesn't have a family. I'm not saying go get with a nigga that got 7 and 8 kids and now you about to have another 9, 10, and 11 kids for this nigga. No, get with a man that wants to genuinely have a family that has matured. That way, when y'all copulate and have children, the child will be born at a mature rate. You won't have a fucking demon seed. A lot of y'all get, you 19, your man is 21, Y'all both listening to NBA Youngboy. Y'all both on them Percocets. Y'all both taking Casamigos instead of water. You're going to produce a demon. That child is going to be a fucking demon. And you see them all on the YouTube. And I know it because my son be watching that shit. It's entertainment to him. And I'm like, damn, this how the little young niggas acting? I call them the Percocet babies. It used to be the crack babies. The crack babies produce Percocet babies. You hear me? Tell me I'm lying. I'm from the hood. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. So when it comes to that nigga shit, you cannot pull one, you can't get a fast one past me. You be hard pressed. I'm from where they grow up very fast. So we got to cut the crap. Yeah, the E-pill babies, that's all included in the Percocet. Whatever came after the crack baby. I just say Percocet because everybody understand that. I can't say it on other words. They going to give me another violation. Right? But I hope that answers your question, world's finest chocolate. Look at your chocolate ass. I hope that answered your question. Anybody else? Any other questions? Come join us in Atlanta, Georgia. Link is in the bio. March the 7th or the 8th. You don't have to come to both. But if you come to both, you're going to benefit the most. Right? VIP tickets are available. Y'all come on out. Come kick it with us. On March the 6th, for the people that's going to get tickets, we're going to show up at the park the day before the seminar. We're going to have a spa day. We also going to go put our feet in the grass. I'm going to show you guys how to inhale the sunlight appropriately, how to breathe it into your body, how to extricate the carbon dioxide out your body and all of the different things that are stopping your chakras from spinning in the right direction. All of the VIP members going to get hit with this staff while we doing the grounding and all that shit. I'm gonna accelerate your ass. Right? You're going to get accelerated. I'm going to show you guys how to appropriately meditate and give you some step-by-step instructions so you can get on the right track. Then we're going to go to a spot where they got the crystal igloo that's made out of amethyst, carnelian, green aventurine, quartz, and red and rose quartz. The floor is 115 degrees, and you're going to sweat out all the impurities. They got a room that's made out of Himalayan salt, the whole room made out of it. They got another room that's made out of solid gold and silver. So we're going to be up in the building, man. I'm telling y'all. March Madness. I don't want to call it March Madness. March Gladness. That's going to be March. So start making your way there in March. I'm calling out to all you people that stay in Florida, all you people that stay in Alabama, all you people that stay in Memphis or Tennessee, all you people that stay in Mississippi, Louisiana, South Carolina, and North Carolina. Don't ask me when I'm going to come to that slow-ass town that you live in Carolina. That shit is too slow. It's not enough popping up there. Y'all going to have to come down to Atlanta. That's the central location. That's the biggest hub for the airports in this country is in Atlanta. So anybody that stay in the proximity of that airport, and I'm talking anywhere within 500 miles or less, you need to bring your ass there. Don't ask me when am I coming to Sumter, South Carolina. Ain't shit popping in South Carolina. I had nowhere for the attendees to go after the event, except some damn pig hut. We not doing none of that bullshit. We going to ATL, shouty. And you should too. Oh man, fuck that little beef. That shit ain't shit. You said that like that's Fort Lauderdale or something. Right? Y'all need to come to Atlanta. We go do some karaoke after the event. Sometimes we go out and eat dinner together. You know what I mean? I want people to see me in real time. Like, you get to kick it with me after the event. because the information be so serious. I even want to go to a comedy spot, but the information be heavy, man, for real. And we do these every quarter, every 3 or 4 months. I do another event, so prepare for it now. I'm telling you guys, and for all those that's been hearing me I've been telling y'all, man, since last March about this event that's happening next month. I've been saying it the whole time. And I always get 19 to 20 people from this community to come out to Atlanta. This will be our 8th event in Atlanta. And every time we kept doing the event, somebody, when you coming back to Atlanta? Oh, we gonna be here on this day. Crickets. I don't never see them people. We not. It don't matter if you don't come. Like I said, our community is gonna show up. We're not counting on you. I just gotta put that out. We're not counting on nobody. The people that's gonna show, like my pop say, all the usual suspects, all the usual ones are gonna always be there. So we already got anywhere between 10 and 12 people that's always gonna be there. They catch most of the seminars. And then it's always 4 or 5 new members that come. But the last 7 seminars that we did in Atlanta, at first we only had 1 member in our community that actually stayed in the Atlanta area. Everybody else flew in or drove in, right? It said the Wapu community in Atlanta. I don't know what you mean. You're gonna have to be a little bit more clear. I hope you ain't talking about them Patarak and all of that shit. Don't align me with that. Shouts out to them brothers, but I'm not in alignment with that all that shit they got going on. Do not include me in that bullshit. That's on my mama. Right? But that's neither here nor there. One person, I'm not talking in the WAPU community, I'm talking about the 1089 tech community, the community that we established here on the TikTok, right? If I was supposed to say in the WAPU community, I'd have said in the WAPU community. But I'm talking about the 1089 tech community, the community that we've commandeered since being on TikTok. We got over 200 members, and out of them 200 members, at least 40 of them are students up under my helm. They've taken my AAA discourse. They have altars in their life. And I'm telling you, we shift the energy at anywhere that we step into. Anywhere where we go, we shift the whole energy. Even when we at the event, everybody in the event gonna be shifted just from our presence being there. Right? Sometimes we'll show up at the crystal store, it'd be too many witches and warlocks in there, it start lightning and thundering. And people will tell you, because I got enough students and enough people in the community, they done came to enough events. They can confirm this stuff for you. And they'll tell you, like, yeah, man, shit. We go out there to Roswell Road, boy, it get the lightning and thundering out of nowhere. Like, yo, where did all this shit come from? People be like, why is it raining? They didn't say it was gonna rain. Yeah, nigga, because the Tiru is in the goddamn building. We here to clear up this bullshit in a real way. You know what I mean? But the community gonna come out. Said, are all witches bad? No, all witches are not bad. All witches are not bad. That's a misnomer. But most witches are bad. They have bad intent. Especially those that mess with Lucifer, Lilith, Baphomet, right? Hexagrams. They get the fuck on. You see what I say about me? Yeah, I pop up at Phoenix and Dragons. The second I pull off, it'd be about 4 or 5 cars leaving. Like they feel it. Like, oh shit, it's time to get out of here. They start leaving. Said you got good magic and bad magic. Oh yeah. There is no more Nawapian community, right? It's Nuwapians. I am a Nuwapian. I am a Nuabia. I am through and through. But you just misinterpret when I was saying about the community. I'm talking about the 1089 tech community. But when you're talking about the Nawapian community, that community is comprised of the Supreme Grand Master Teacher's family. His family is the community. His wife, his concubines, and all of the children. That's the community. Are you a Nawapian? Because you spelt it wrong. But that's neither here nor there. Now, I was just correcting you because you was like, oh, is you talking about the Nawapian community? And it's like, no, I wasn't talking about that. I'm talking about the 1089 tech. That's all that was. And I just had to clear it up. You know, we got to have clarity. Some clarity, man. I don't want people to take me out of context. Anybody else? Any other questions? We're going to get up on the board at 222. Y'all tap that screen. We're going to get on up here and go back over the tree of life. Called by Egyptologists, the Kabbalion, and called by the Hasidic and Yiddish Jews, the Kabbalah. And we're going to show you the real structure of this, right? I'm doing this for my beloved sister, DeSoul. I usually don't do this for people because I did this the other day, but I put it out. We're going to go over this shit again and get it right in this great day and time. Y'all tap that button for me. I'm about to go refresh my water and relieve myself. And then we're going to come back and we about to go in on the board. We're going to call out the 99 Netaru first. And then we're going to get into the next part of this dissertation. Because these is full-blown seminars you get. It's like a seminar. You get a full event when y'all come here. Don't act like you don't. I need y'all to tap the screen, man. We almost got up to 200,000 likes right now. We got 50 people in the building, and we only got 55,000 likes, right? All right, you guys, you ready? Abdul Ku Tafalat. Wabazun Bibamu El Kalun. Who partner to that? Minu Nut Sheu Kawun Elabihu. Atun Ray. Nun Nunet. He het. Kek he kek. Amun Amunet. Atum Shu Tepna Geb Nut or Set or Soru. Net that Satuk Haru Happy Anquid Anti Nefertum. Mantu Bepti Sekmet Het Har Bes Pata Bas Am Hotep. Who mi hurt Kepri Meskahenit. Riot Kentamintu. Hika Neef Mayat Renitat. Shah Sishat Mafdat Sobek Anubu. Kanum Kansu Tanin. Sia Hikat Amsu Sarapi. Atun Ray Tahuti. Taret Selkat Ha. Nehepka Sokar Bait. Akir Anihirit Wabwawit. Sikat Hitat. Maresgir Sia Getit Astinu Bahutit Kanemtet Minket Him Madudi Kabasinu Duamutat. Merit Ura Edu Nikabit. Sikat Anukat Jet. Tem Ua Uis Anku Afnuit Sati Sekti. Imta'a. Ninna Emuet Emseti. Kimamu Reshef Mary. Amun Ray. For the sake of all. Kawu. Be. All right. Tap that screen, y'all. Let's get up to 100K likes, man. Y'all not tapping that screen. Oh. Need y'all to tap that screen, man. This is pertinent information y'all getting here. Putting everything in the context. Nobody else giving it to y'all like this. I'll take one more question before we begin. If anybody got a question, I'll take your question. I seen a brother in there. He said he was lost. That's why I'm saying that. You got a question, beloved. I'm here. This is Q&A with Dr. Ray. There is no set topic. Some people be like, yo, what's the topic? It ain't no topic. It's question and answers. The same way that my Supreme Grandmaster teacher taught us from. It's the only way that you can get understanding. That's how you get 363 degrees of understanding, is by asking questions. And those questions will give you the dimensions of physical knowledge so that you can acquire 363 degrees of spiritual knowledge. That's a little bit vague. You're going to have to be a little bit clearer with your question, world's finest chocolate. What's the truth? What's the truth is that you exist. How do you know that you exist? Because your mother and your father exist. And their mothers and fathers 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 exist all the way back to the sun. Where you were grown out of the original vibrations of growth, which is Om, right? I hope that answered your question. All right, so we're going to go through the Kabbalion. Ka-ba. The Ka and the Ba. The Ka is the spirit, the Ba is the soul. And the consciousness moves through the planes. I keep losing my pointers. See if I... what the hell happened to my pointer? Hey, Ari. What happened to my pointer? Hey, have you seen my pointer, like a stick? I had this, one of my teacher stick. You ain't ever seen it? Like a wood stick. I don't know what happened to it. It's okay. I could just use this. All right. So I've been trying to find out who I am, like really who I am. Okay, that's not a question, Deonta. You know, it's 1/3 of you that's your mother. It's 1/3 of you that's your father. Then there's 1/3 of you that's not your mother or your father. That's you. And that's the aspect of you that you have to start operating from in order to answer your own questions, right? Because at one point, you were a part of the original state of being, which is the consciousness will of the Supreme. That's the omnipresent. You were connected to everything at one time, but you wanted to take on a body. And if you go look at in the videos, and let me get that disclaimer too. A lot of the questions that you guys may have or are afraid to ask, they already been answered on my page. You got to go on my page and scale my page and just look at all of, because that's what I upload is the highlights from these lives. And you were once an ocean of consciousness and you wanted to be a physical being, right? And when you were operating in an omnipresence, when you were one with all, you had a whole ocean of consciousness that is you. And you said, you seen all the way down to the physical plane and said, I want to go down there and get a body. And the beings on the etheric plane said, yeah, you got to come here first. But you can't bring that ocean with you. You can only bring about 5 gallons of yourself here. And you was like, cool, bet, I'm going. So you went to the etheric plane and you got in a 5-gallon container. You took 5 gallons of your consciousness to the etheric plane. And they said, now you got to remember. And you said, what does remember mean? And they told you, the Ethereans in that level, they said, now you have to remember that you're not a 5-gallon container of consciousness. You got to remember that you are ocean. And he was like, cool, that ain't no problem. And you kicked it on that plane for a minute. He said, yo, I still want my body though. He said, yeah, you're going to have to go down to the spirit plane. He was like, cool, let me go. So you went to head to the spirit plane. They said, hold on, playboy. Can't come here to the spirit plane. Listen, you only need 1 gallon of consciousness here. You don't need 5 gallons. And you was like, cool, ain't no problem. They said, you're going to have to do something called remind. Someone's going to have to remind you. You're like, what do remind mean? Someone's going to have to remind you that you're not 1 gallon of consciousness so that you could remember that you came from the etheric plane where you were asked to remember that you're not a 5 gallon of consciousness either. You're actually an ocean of consciousness. And you was up to task for that. And when you got down to the physical dimension, they said, hold on, playboy. You can't come there. You gotta get some permission before you come there. And you can't bring that gallon of consciousness with you. You can only bring like a Coke can worth of consciousness. And when you do that, listen, you're going to forget. Like, what does that mean? You're going to forget the fact that someone had to remind you to remember that you weren't a gallon of consciousness, that you weren't a 5-gallon container of consciousness, but to remember that you was an ocean of consciousness. All of that shit gonna be gone in order for you to take on that body because you don't got enough conscious to remind yourself or to remember yourself. You're going to forget. And we'll give you, you will get some memory, right? To memorize your experiences while you're there. That's all you could do with 12 ounces of consciousness. You said, bet. You seen the people having intercourse here. You seen people laughing. You seen people crying. You seen people eating food, drinking. You was like, man, you didn't know the beings that was in the spirit plane. It was like, yo, you got to go down there and experience it. I don't know what laughter is. I don't know what crying is. I never incarnated into the earth plane to know what those things are. But if you want to experience them, you're going to have to incarnate there. And just keep in mind, you're not going to remember. You're not going to remind yourself. You're going to be forgetful, right? And I hope that answers your question for the brother that was asking that. Now, these are the Netaru that make up what they refer to as the tree of life, right? Some people call it the Kabbalion. Others call it the Kabbalah. And they use other terminologies other than these because they don't want you to know about these beings. They don't want you to know about them because they got lips like mine. They got a nose like mine and like yours, right? And these were the beings who set the precedence for knowledge to be obtained in this dimension. And when you're looking at this, this has a multitude of purposes. To keep it in context with what we've been talking about all week here on 1089 TV, this is the outline of the occult nerves in your brain, which there are 11 seats. This is how you get into the laws of reflection. For all my people in the 1089 tech community and everyone that attended the Eye of Sekhmet webinar, part 1 and 2, and for those people that have attended the Lion's Gate portal, y'all all know about this, right? So Asar represents the omnipresence. And in this aspect of consciousness, right, you are one with all. That's Asar. He is the head of the deities. Tahuti, who sits in the second seat of the occult nerves, deals with intuition and the all-knowing. So in the Asar seat, which is like the pineal gland, right? That's dealing with the omnipresent. Tahuti in the second division deals with the seat of intuition. That would be reflective of your binary glands, for those that's been keeping up with everything. And then you got Sikert, who is the omnipotence, who deals with Sikkim. And a lot of you know what Sikkim is, especially for all my new Abia and those in the AEO and those in the 1089 tech community. Y'all should know what Sikkim is. You've been to enough events and webinars that we held. You should know that. And that's the third division, the seat of understanding. The seat of understanding. And the only way you can get understanding is by asking questions. I tell people to ask questions all of this Q&A with Dr. Ray. This is why it's Q&A with Dr. Ray. So that you can start activating the occult centers in your brain. Right? And stop looking with a fluoritic stare. You got a lot of people got fluoride all in their eyeballs. Okay, next is Mayat. Mayat deals with the laws that govern nature, interdependence, interrelationships, synthetical thinking, meaning that you're building with somebody to come to the conclusions that you're dealing with, right? This synthetical thinking shows up in your courtrooms and stuff like that, right? Hirukuti, the divine justice, the executor of the law, deals with analytical thinking. And these are the sub-mental areas of the binary glands. So the byproduct of your intuition is synthetical thinking or interdependence or interrelationships, which are, they govern the laws of nature. And under the omnipotence and the seat of understanding, right? The byproduct of that is analytical thinking. That's pulling back the layers on what you're capable of understanding. And all of this is going into the crown chakra, right? For those that's been following all week. If you haven't been following all week, that's on you. You just gonna have to keep up on the YouTube, come join the community, because I told y'all this information is eternal. You can't hold it to that beast-like Caucasian method of learning that you've been getting. This is perpetual learning for people that want to get elevated. I teach on the curve. The crown represents Hiru. For those that know, you know. And this deals with circumspect thinking, your free will. That's in the crown chakra. You follow? And that's connected to Sebek and Het Hiru, which is also dealing with the binary glands in the head, right? Because this is the lower mind, as above, so below. You done heard people use that terminology again and again, which is one of the that is one of the axioms of the principles of Tahuti, also called the universal laws. So you got Sebek. Come on, get your ass out of here. Come on, cat. Let me let my cat out. Come on, buddy. Get your ass out of here. You got Sebek, who deals with segregative thinking, thoughts, ideas, belief, and rationale. And then you got Het Hiru, who deals with congregative thinking, which is in association with your imagination, social harmony, joy, artistic expression. You know, that's keeping the vibes right. That's what Het Hiru does, right? She's going to make everybody feel at home. Set, who sits in the brow chakra. If you know, you know. But the people that's been following the whole time and everybody in the community, y'all should be getting, y'all should know this. Like, oh shit, I see it now. I see everything now, right? Set deals with devotion, the ego, dreams, the transcendental state, early learning. All of that is associated with Set in this particular tree of life. And all of that is anchored to Geb, the physical world, which is the body itself. You follow? So in the physical world, it breaks down into atoms and molecules and electricity and magnetism, which gives you electromagnetism. And when you fuse electromagnetisms and atoms and molecules together, you get a physical form, right? And this is the tree of life. And this is also taking you into the laws of reflection. We've already covered all of this stuff in the 1089 tech community, right? Which you guys can become a member. All you got to do is purchase a piece of Orgon. Get you a piece of Orgon. So, because see, when you put this Orgon around your neck, it takes every electron in your body and aligns them symmetrically with one another. It creates amalgamation of seeds of life in your body. This is how some of you guys have such an overwhelming sense of alignment after you put that tech on and you start meditating and aligning yourself with yourself so that your oversoul could allow you to operate from yourself, not your superficial self called the physical body, right? So that's what this represents. And as we go through the laws of reflection, we're dealing with the number 11. Let's count them out. That's Amen, which is the hidden one. The hidden one represents all in all. Asaru represents being one with all. Tahuti represents the all-knowing. And Sikurt represents the all-powerful. Once you drop from that station, because this would be like the etheric realm. Once you come down to right here, you're dealing with the spirit realm. And once you come down to right here, you're dealing with the physical realm. Let's get a 9 in the comments section if you guys are, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. All right. So we're going to call this 0, or excuse me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I forgot to put the 9 there. You see that? That's 11. And some of y'all, I can hear you like, man, why is that the number 11? Because in order for you to have place value, you're going to have to count 0, Amen, the hidden one, right? as a number. It's no longer nothing no more. Now it becomes something once you have 1 and 0. So 1 becomes 0 becomes 1, 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 3, all the way up to 11, right? Let's count it out on the hands and you will see exactly what I'm saying. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where's 10? Somebody put in the comment section where 10 appears. Where does 10 appear? 10 appears in the brow chakra. That gives you 11. 11 is a reflective number, right? That's right, yourself. Not the W, right? You are in the reflection. So when you get in front of the mirror, you can't see yourself. You can only see the double you, the superficial aspects of you, but you can't see the hidden one. You follow that? Let's get a 9 in the comment section if y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Let's tap that screen. Tap the screen if y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Okay? 11 is a reflective number. So when you say 2 times 11, that's going to give you what? 22. When you say 3 times 11, that's going to do what? It's going to give you 33. When you say 4 times 11, that's going to give you what? 44. When you say 5 times 11, that's going to give you what? 55. You hear me? These are gateways or portals. When you put 2 columns next to each other, you create a doorway, a corridor, or a portal. I'll say that one more time. When you put 2 columns or 2 ones next to each other, you create a doorway, a column, or a portal. And at every gateway, portal, or corridor, there's a gatekeeper, or what they call at the club, a bouncer, somebody that got to pat you down. Sometimes they'll look at you at some of the clubs and be like, "No, you can't get in, homie." You're like, "Yo, man, I just pulled up in the Benz." So what? Yo, man, here go $500. No, we don't want your money, homie. You're not invited in. What did I do wrong? You just saying you don't fit the vibe for this place. You got to get out of here. You hear me? These are gatekeepers. And we go through the gatekeepers in the 1089 tech community. And for you guys that are not ready or willing to come join the tech community by purchasing a piece of orgone, you can come join us on School. Click the link in my bio and join us on School. It's free. Get it while it's free right now, right? Because after my 90 days up, I got to start charging. Y'all don't realize I got to pay for these extra platforms that I got. So I have to brand myself and present myself in a business format, right? And it's worth its weight in gold. So the gateways are connected to the gatekeepers, and you're dealing with the laws of reflection when you're capable of going through the 9-point principles of the 1089 tech community. Now you can effectively scry with the Raynology and the Netaru without speculating or guessing and picking up on the sims that are being sent to you. This will raise your esteem and your confidence and give you the ability to receive the sims from your dearly departed. SIMS is an acronym: signs, indicators, and messages, right? And I'm telling y'all, the Hyksos stole this. They stole this and turned it into the Kabbalah. It was too mystical for them. So they stole it again and turned it in. They just told you about the tree of life. But they didn't tell you about the tree of knowledge. And they didn't tell you how both of those trees, right, are comprised of the same roots. Because they're not connected to those roots. Can't grow roots in mountains. You need valleys and rivers in this great day and time. And that's for the new stand I got. Eon, what do you call itself? 3.0. He be laughing at her. Ha ha ha. He think because he into the Kabbalah, he got the truth. You listening to plagiarizers. They are plagiarists. All the monotheistic religions. All their concepts came out of the Happy Now Valley. You hear me? All of their concepts. And you want to get butt hurt with me. You want to troll my page because I done debunked your ass. See, it was funny when I was getting on the Christians' ass. But when I got on them people that hold up the Kabbalah and start getting on them, oh, now it ain't funny no more. Now I'm being anti-Semitic. But it's okay for me to get on my own people and point out their inconsistencies and their flaws and contradictions. But don't let me get on your ass in the synagogue of Satan. Only a devil would not want to be exposed. Only a devil will come up with a law to not expose his devilishment. Tell the truth, it saves the devil. Tell me I'm lying. Got any more questions out there? The Soul, you got any questions? Shouts out to The Soul. It's her new year. Y'all follow my beloved sister, The Soul, The Soul Train. Here on TikTok. She does DJing. She does a great job. I haven't been able to catch your lives, beloved, because I'll be uploading them videos. I know you probably see me like, damn, this nigga online. I'll be uploading videos. Right? But The Soul, you got any more questions? Did I go over that thorough enough for you? Because I know you asked about the Kabbalion before. And if you got any questions, you more than, go ahead and ask about them. And see, this is just one variant of it. And the reason why I use this, because a particular society put this out there on Pinterest, the Pa'ut Neteru, right? They put this out there, so, but I got a whole nother way that this shit go. But this is the infrastructure of the Happy Now Valley's way of thinking. We the ones that established thought. In the school of thought, what they call Tahuti or Zahuti. You hear me? She said she's ready for the next level. Yeah, you can start decoding it yourself. You competent enough. You're very studious and well learned. So, but we'll go over it. I wonder whatever happened to that girl in the beginning of the live. What was her name? Julia something? Juliet, or Jenny said that she was the moon. She hurry up and got the hell on up out of here. I am the moon. What happened to her moon-headed ass? You sure did get your ass the fuck out. ASAP. And for anybody else, y'all got any questions or any grievances, bring it here right now so I can turn that shit into content. Don't try to backdoor me in a comment on some other page. Miss Anderson, I ain't gonna call out your first name. Talking about you was appalled by what I said. Man, please. If you ain't willing to, that long ass dossier you gave me, and I'm gonna keep bringing it up until I see your ass. Talking about how the divine feminine isn't in you. Spirituality it's a feminine principle. It's a difference between feminine principle and gender. Because listen, spirits do not have mammary glands. Spirits do not have menstrual cycles. Spirits do not catch erections. Spirits do not defecate. Spirits are incapable of urinating. Spirits, do you hear me? What a lot of you guys are attempting to do is add anthropomorphism to the ectoplasmic aspects of who you are. That's a false awareness. And I know many people, you have good intentions. Your intentions are well, but you've never been taught. You're still trying to figure out everything on your own. And like one of my students said, was like, hey, Dr. Ray, a lot of people just uncomfortable with being corrected. That shit be rubbing people the wrong way because they don't like to be corrected. You can't be correct until you incorrect first. I know from experience. I spent the first 7 years, man, them brothers was correcting the shit out my ass. And I loved it. It wasn't even like I was like, damn. No, I love that shit. I'm like, hey, say that again. Let me write that down, man. I'll be tearing off pieces of a paper bag and writing on that shit and taking it home and putting it into my notes. Because you got to take notes. People don't be taking notes. You becoming lazy thinkers, as my father says. Yeah, man, people becoming lazy thinkers. MIT even did a research with the chat GPT. They said in 3 years, people will lose the ability to think for themselves if they don't start using chat GPT as a tool. Y'all be using it like it's a toy. And you keep using that shit like it's a toy if you want to, you're going to lose the ability to think. They done already turned up the Wi-Fi signal to 6G. Next, your phone going to be operating on 6G if it ain't already. And that's going to be too much radiation for your body, especially if you don't have something like this around your neck to protect you. See that? That's full of, look how it's making the screen go, right? But this has labradorite in it, and it's sitting on a bed of shungite sand, black obsidian, and black tourmaline sand, right? And that's sitting on a bed of atomized metals, mainly tin, copper, steel, iron, and what's the other one? Steel, copper, tin, iron, and did I say copper? Tin, steel, copper, iron, and it's one more that I'm missing. Aluminum. I got all those metals, and they've been atomized. Thank you, Spaz. And I put a neodymium magnet, which is the strongest magnet on the earth, inside of here. Uh-oh. I just want to show you guys. See that? See how that's sticking on there? So it pulled the radiation into here. It transmutates it in the back with the shungite and the obsidian, and it turns it into into negative ions, and they start emitting out into your auric field and start patching up the places where the microwaves that moved in and out of your auric field. That's what the orgone device does, right? That's what it does. It starts to eradicate the damage that was done. It starts to reconstruct the gray matter damage. The second you put it around your neck, you automatically got a new auric field. Automatically, because of the tourmaline. When you put tourmaline on your solar plex, you start emitting a auric field or a tourmaline field around your body. And I program the tourmaline to heal and repair the damages to your auric field. I've been doing this for about 15, 16 years now, as far as me messing with the orgone and working with it. Yes, I do sell them. It's on the website, beloved. It's on the website, 1089techvision.com. And I'll show you guys a couple of pieces before we go to the YouTube. Because we're going to take it to the YouTube streets next. Y'all want to join us. I'll take it to them YouTube streets. Let me see. Flip the camera. All right. These is just some chest plates. I got more stuff than this. I just don't be wanting to pull all this stuff out. But y'all need to get chest plates now, man, because they didn't turn up the the bandwidth on the Wi-Fi. It says 6G right now. Right? All of these they all sitting on the bed of shungite, black obsidian, and tourmaline. And you can see the atomized metals that have been integrated into that. Right? Very powerful. These are $200. Some of them are $250. I even got some that's $300. Right? This is amphelite. This is a mixture of iolite, phosphosiderite, and amethyst. Said the one I just touched. This one here. This is chrysocolla, malachite, and azurite in one. These are about $200. Yeah, it's calling out to you, man. Look up the property of them stones, and you're gonna be like, damn. When you meditate, I don't know if you meditate, Keith, but if you meditate, this shit about to have you locking in. And I add you in the community. Now, something like this, I call this fruition pebbles. This got 13 different crystals in it. This line up all 13 chakras in the Merkaba field. He said the one that stood out to me. Yeah, man. You see, Shamari, don't say what you want. This one got 9 chakras. This got all 9 chakra stones in it. Lines up the 9 chakras. And you can see the shungite just oozing out the back of that thing. Like, it's no joke. Right? You can see the amethyst in there, the carnelian, the citrine, malachite, turquoise. I said amethyst. The lapis lazuli at the top. It got some clear quartz up there. And that white stone in the middle is a sosalite stone. What sosalite does is it takes all of the different crystals and it makes them work in tandem with one another. It brings them into a synergetic alignment, right? So when y'all see these white stones on these crystals, I know y'all be wondering like, yo, what's that white stone? What's that for? That's to make sure that all of the crystals work in harmony together. It brings them in a synergetic harmony and alignment. Desert rose, desert jasper. This is for grounding. For people that is all over the place. If you can't get grounded, you got to put one of these around. Let this hang to your solar plexus. All right? And I told y'all, I put shungite, black obsidian, and tourmaline in everything. Black sand and the 5 atomized metals. It has an abundance of ions that's coming up out of these devices, man. I'm telling you, it's overwhelming. It's an overwhelming amount. Now, this one in particular, like these is a little bit more expensive because it got about 33 crystals in it. That's right. I said 33 crystals. And it could be quite uncomfortable. It could become overbearing trying to wear this all day. You don't want to go to sleep with one of these around your neck. And you can see the neodymium magnet in there. I did this one like that on purpose so people can see. All right, but these my chest plates. You know, if you struggle with self-confidence and courage, issues in the sex department, right? If you're doing too much sexual activity and you want to get all that balanced out, you want to get you one of these, right? Peace of love, beloved. Peace of love. You see that? It's a work of art there. This is citrine and red jasper. I call this the sorrow chess piece. Then I got ocean jasper. Isn't that a beaut? Google ocean jasper and look at what it does. I got access to the crystal kingdom. You see how, look at all that shungite back there. You know, I'll overload them joints for you. And I got some other stuff too. Let me show y'all some other ones. You know, this one is comprised of my dark matter mix. That's black obsidian, shungite, and black tourmaline. And that's all that's in here. I didn't add no other crystals, but I did add the Sri Lanka onto it. And then I call this the Lord of Labradorite. This one has iolite, labradorite in there, along with larvacite. And of course, it's sitting on the bed of shungite, black obsidian, and tourmaline. A lot of people always ask, like, hey, do you got shungite in there? Like, I put shungite in everything, right? This piece is based on optimism. This brings optimism into your life. It has golden jade, yellow aventurine, and citrine in there. I call this the optimism accelerator. It makes you more optimistic about the decisions that you're making, and not in a delusional way, in a way where it's like, okay, you know what you need to do. Here's another variant of the desert jasper. These are medallions. These aren't chest plates. These go for about $111 with shipping and handling, right? This is a mix of K2 jasper, uh, tiger's eye, and what else did I put in here? Oh, and some azurite. This will get your mind right here. This crystal combination. Say, where can I order from you? It's an excellent question. You can go to the website. Hold on a second. Go to the website, 1089 techvision.com. We'll put this up on the board. That's the site. That's the place to be. See that? Thank you, Double R. All right. See that? That's the website. Come join us March. When you see that, go to the event section. If you like to get some apparel, you want to get one of these tees, go to the AnnunaQi wear. Okay, what did you miss, Scott Moore? I'm not gonna have to be a little bit more definitive. I don't know what you're talking about. What did you miss? The website? Okay, yeah, there it is. 1089techvision.com. AnnunaQi Tech Wear. Hit that tab to see the apparel. We got hoodies, sweatshirts. I also do ancestor money. We got meditation oils, wealth oils. My next move is to start making soaps. I'm gonna start making soaps and lotions. You said it's not clear. What's not clear? There go the website right there, beloved. I don't know what you're talking about, Fred Hill from Nashville. I'm trying to figure out what you're. I'm attempting to figure out what you're speaking to. Yeah, he might be trolling, man. You might be trolling, or you on a 3G signal, one or the other. Yeah, I don't know. He's just probably trolling. I don't know. He might not be trolling. I don't know. But we had an excellent live today. I hope you guys been enjoying yourself. Come join us in Atlanta. Come get hit with the Baruti staff. Get them chakras spinning in the right direction, and start unlocking your higher senses into this lower field of reality. Like a few of my students, shouts out to Dia Oz. After I hit people with the staff, she'll sidebar you and pull you in a hallway in private and let you know what she's seeing when while I'm administering that staff on you. She takes notes and all that. I didn't tell her to do that, but I seen her. I seen her consciousness come online though. I did see that, and she'll do a reading. And the clan mother of our community, Mama Drina, shouts out to Mama Drina. She's starting to read too. She be taking notes, and a few people could see all the orbs that be coming up out of people when I'm hitting them with the staff. And it take a few attunements with this staff for you to evolve to the point where you be operating from the brow chakra, right? Start listening to your first mind and making intuitive interfacings, right? But anybody else, I'll take one more question before we get up out of here. Come join us on the YT. And I'm not talking about Caucasian people. Come join us on the Y and the T app. If y'all want to catch the next chapter of this live in this great day and time called Noon Tirade. So anybody else? Shit, we leaving up out of here. We're gonna be on there by 3:33 Central Standard Time. Wonderful world's finest chocolate. I'm gonna start following you, world's finest chocolate. Right? Because you've been asking questions. I like when people ask questions, man. Come on over there and join us on the YouTube. That's what YT is. I ain't want to say it. Come join us on the YouTube in 22 minutes, and we're going to go live over there. I just need some time to set up, switch my mics out, and adjust my camera because it doesn't allow me to mirror the video. Does anybody know how to mirror the video on the YouTube? I be wanting to mirror the video, but it won't let me do it. If you don't, that's okay. I could just turn my phone around and I just get a delay because I can't see the camera. All right. Nobody else has no more questions. AnnunaQi, that's on the YouTube. Shouts out to all of my subscribers. Subscribe to the platform and get access to more content. We're going to get up out of here in this great day and time called Noon Tirade. If I don't see you guys on the YouTube side of things, then I'll see you a little bit later. May the ancestors be with you in this great day and time. And may the Most High El bless you with a peaceful night's rest and an early rise in the AM. What did he say? Maybe a cord connection to the computer and see if you can access the phone file. And thank you, Hearts Revolution. Yeah, but it still ain't gonna let me, it ain't letting me mirror it. Like on here, like I can mirror the video on this side. See how I look backwards now? When I do that, it's just like this on the YouTube. Only way I could do that is if I turn the phone around in the opposite way. It doesn't have an option for me to mirror the video. When I do mirror the video, see, when I do mirror the video, I had to flip the camera around. There it is. When I mirror the video here on the TikTok, it do it correctly. Yeah, but it's all good. We're gonna go on in about 20 minutes. I will be live. I'm about to just charge up my mic, erase this board, and we're gonna take it to the next step. At least 90 minutes of this live will be uploaded to the YouTube. Go check out if you missed any of the lives from earlier this week. They already uploaded on the YouTube. We about to take over the YouTube the same way we didn't set a precedence here on the TikTok. I see you guys over there. All right. Peace and love. Uamana Wadu.